Hey, howdy ho, Lions fans. Welcome to our new DLP vlog series. It is going to be amazing. This is the first episode. We've got a lot of stuff coming. I'm going to talk about the exciting details in a little bit, but I want to get into the content right now. So let's get started. There's 3 things the Lions need to do to be competitive, maybe even contend in 2021. Number 1, they need a competent front office. There's a couple of preferred candidates out there at head coach and at general manager that the team's looking at. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that right now because we'll get into that in other vlogs and in the podcast, the weekly podcast and that kind of thing. I want to get into more of a meta, kind of a high level strategic thinking piece around this, okay? We need to be able to pull this off this year and look like a competent NFL team, like a real team. I know it seems like silly. I know it seems like table stakes, but that's what this team needs to do. They haven't been able to pull that off for decades, and we need that now. Look, when we get these hires done, a couple of things. No sexual abuse allegations. That would be great. That would be an awesome way to start out. Maybe you could do some research on the people before you hire them and bring them in. Good hiring practice, just so you know. I know this wasn't the Lions, but we need credibility. So none of those crazy eyes interviews from Adam Gase. Can't have that. Can't have that. You lose credibility immediately. He never recovered from that. Just like Matt Patricia never recovered from the sexual abuse allegations. You can't have that kind of garbage. You need to be professional and competent. So none of that kind of stuff. Be measured, be smart. More access to the media, more access to the fans, but you've got to do it well. You've got to be able to execute. Seems weird, but that's what we expect from our football team. We'd like to see a draft without tease Tabor tier moves. Tease Tabor tier, tease Tabor tier, tease Tabor tier, tier, tease Tabor tier. Tease Tabor tier. Say that 5 times fast. We need a good draft. We've only got 5 spots, 5 draft positions. We need to hit on all of them. Period. End of story. We'll talk about that a little bit more coming up. The coach and even the GM, they need to be relatable to the players. This is a different world than it was in 1985. Sheila, Martha, William, whatever. You need to be relatable to your players. You can't just have the smartest guy in the room yelling at them and trying to beat them down. It's not going to work. We've seen it. Wade Fonts was successful. Why? Because he was relatable to the players. He got rid of bad players, locker room guys didn't fit. He got rid of them when he needed to, but he was relatable to the players. He was quote unquote a player's coach. That's what we're looking for. We need that from our GM as well. Not a softie, not a pushover, but somebody who can relate and that communicate with the players. I've heard the phrase recently, which I think is perfect for this, servant leadership. If we could find that kind of leader for this team, I think we could regain what was in the locker room before and build upon it, because it's a wreck right now. You have players that care so much, like you saw with Taylor Decker, who are driving and dying to be successful and are locked into long-term contracts. Give them the success they need. Come and help them grow and listen to them. Let them speak, because they have some wisdom that you could use. We could use a whole group in the front office and coaches that are listeners, not always talkers. That would be a big help. But the biggest thing I think that we need from this front office and this coaching staff is stop chasing backward in time. There's no time machines, okay? And if you had one, why do you keep going backwards instead of going forwards to see what's coming? You guys have been built for 1985, 2005, 2015. Built for 2025. Bring the NFL to you. Make them do things that they don't know how to do. Force them to play your game. This whole thing of chasing the past has been an epic failure because the league has already figured out the past. They haven't figured out what's yet to come, and we need to be innovators. We need to be smart. We need to bring what's yet to come to the NFL. That's how to be successful. That's how you find success in this league, and that's one of the key things that the Lions need to do. Number 2. When it comes to the roster, a couple of things. Free agency, be active, find the players, get the best players, fill holes, do it with a plan for your draft, improve at positions rather than the whole trade away and downgrade positions that we had under our last GM, Mr. Quinn. Go forward to improve at positions. We have some cap, use it. Don't waste it, but use it. Don't be afraid to build with free agency. It's not the way you build a team. It's not the way you build a Super Bowl team. I get that. That's not what I'm asking us to do. But we have so little draft capital that we need to fill a lot of holes to make this team watchable in 2021. The next thing, as I said earlier, you can't miss. No more tease Tabor tier picks. How about that? I got it. We can't afford it. We don't have the capital. Yeah, we might trade around and get a couple more picks along the way, but we're giving up value. And that means we get more players, but more players of a lower caliber. We've got to be really smart. We need all our picks to hit. We can't have a Landis or a Kaya or any of that kind of crap rolling through the locker room. We need players to play, and we need players that can play well. And we need them all in the draft from every pick. It's a lot to ask, and it's a big thing. Whoever this next GM is that comes in, he's got a heavy, heavy load to carry. But if he can carry it this year, if he can carry it in 2021, this team will go great places. And it's all about how they build out this year. It's going to be, there's a lot to look at and a lot to see and a lot to learn from, but we're going to know everything we need to in this offseason, probably about this Lions team. And then lastly, where do we focus? Build the damn defense. We've got a team that could have won had they stopped their opponent once in a while, but we just couldn't manage to do that. Our defensive guru head coach, some reason, wasn't as much of a guru and couldn't get this done. We can't live like that anymore. We have almost nobody on defense that can play football, and we need to work on that right now. Stay away from linebackers, please. Maybe one somewhere along the way, free agency or something. We need a line, a front four, and we need safety help, okay? That's the key places for this team to build and succeed on that defense. A linebacker along the way, fine, but please don't focus on that. We've spent so much capital there. Jamie Collins is going to be okay. The team will be all right if you can get a pass rush and get your secondary together. That's going to do wonders for this team, and that's going to help us on the offense. I'm leaning first round wide receiver right now. I think that's what we need. Give Matthew Stafford a weapon. We're not going to have them for a number of reasons we'll talk about in the future here, but we need to get him a good, solid weapon, and that might be a first round pick. Point number 3, you hold on to Stafford. You have to. You have to hold on to Matthew Stafford. He is still a franchise quarterback, and there are a number of teams out there that want him. What will they give up for him? Not enough to get a quarterback that we need. Not enough to get a quarterback that's going to take this team to the next level. And even if we could somehow manage a trade and get Trevor Lawrence, the consensus #1 quarterback in the draft this year, we would break him by the end of his second season. Why? Because there's no team surrounding him. And the capital we trade away would just destroy any semblance of a team. He would get wrecked on that field, and he would be, I've heard the term lionized, almost immediately. We cannot do that to a quarterback prospect. We need a lot more talent on the field of this team, particularly the defense, to hold this team within the ability to win a game, because Matthew Stafford is out there slinging touchdowns, scoring, doing his job like a top-tier quarterback. He will do that with a couple of weapons that I think we can get him in free agency in the draft. Like I said, fix the defense, and suddenly this team's a competitor. People are not liking what Rod Wood said about that, but he's not too far off, actually. If you could shore up this defense, this team wins a bunch. Matthew Stafford won us 5 games this year with a defense that was worse than a team that went 0-16. He's a good quarterback. He's a damn good quarterback. You get him a decent defense, and this team could go somewhere. All right, that's my 3 key points for the Lions in 2021. Those are the things we need to become somewhat less of a laughingstock, or maybe even a contender in the NFL. But it's definitely the work that needs to go into making this team more successful. Look, I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing here. This is the first of many to come. You're going to see content on the range 3 to 4 of these a week, as well as the long form podcast. So you get a lot of content coming. We're putting together a team of Detroit Lions personalities that has never been put together before. High quality individuals. It's like we're putting the Avengers together. We got a group of people that are absolutely amazing, and you're going to see them show themselves over the course of the next few weeks and month. And you're going to be amazed at the content that's coming. We're working really hard in this offseason to get you great content, because there's a lot going on in Lions land, and you need the right kind of coverage from the right kind of people who are sensible and down to earth and understand what needs to be done. You're going to love it. Get yourself to subscribe, get all that stuff, all those things done, and make sure you watch this channel for all kinds of great content. Don't forget about us on Patreon, patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember the great Slack chat, the most intelligent Lions chat on the internet. You get access to that if you donate as little as $1 a month. It's worth it. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Also, we're on Twitter. You better follow us at DET Lions Podcast. DET Lions Podcast is the place to go for the pants-free lifestyle, which is the only lifestyle anybody wants to live. Also, like, subscribe, hit the bells, all that kind of stuff. You know the drill. Do all that kind of stuff. And thank you for tuning in to our first DLP vlog. We'll see you next time. And remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, no problems, because we're your Detroit Lions and Reddit connection.